Tres. Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Daniel from Pactos de Caballero podcast. We're back. It's Tuesday. I'm here with all of the guys. Rafa is on his way, but John and Juvie are joining me today. What's going on, guys?
What up?
So what's up?
What's going on with you guys? All of a sudden, you just get shy on me or what?
I said hi. This is where you say you answer with the question.
Not bad.
I usually they say I talk too much, so I'm not talking that much right now.
Juvie just like looked down and he was like, "I'm waiting." But man, what's going on, man? What'd you guys do over the weekend, and how was your weekend, pretty much?
Weekend was good, man. Spend it wife, kids, a little bit of family. Um Other than that, it was good. Boring Super Bowl. I know we were going at it in the chat and we said that we were shopping for a comforter and Rafa said he was looking for a ping pong table. Um Other than that, I got a new member in the family, a MacBook Pro. So it's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
but other than that, it was good, man. Watching some good games, some golazos over the weekend. Starting off with Romo, but I'm excited to talk about that game.
yeah, man. There was a couple actually. I saw a couple, and then a couple that got saved. I guess you could say. We'll
Yeah,
get into it, but yeah, man. I guess I don't know if Juvie watched the Super Bowl. I know that he was at your house, so I'm assuming that he was there for that and not just to drink, right?
No,
no, no,
we didn't drink. We didn't even have one beer.
yeah, he didn't even come over. I had to cancel on him and Rafa at the end.
Or why was that?
Rosie had a migraine, so I had to look over the
He
troublemaker and my daughter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, and then with Juvie there, it would have been a bigger migraine. It gets
No,
tough.
actually, Juvie probably would have cooked that Juvie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm on the good side of the family, so more than welcome.
Yeah, it's babe, going to TJ to watch the Cholos game with against Chivas. ¿Cómo? What? Juvie's going. Órale, pues. Cuando el
Yeah,
primo está bien.
man, you got to be careful.
Yeah, Juvie's trouble. Juvie's trouble.
Como John's like talking about how he just left it, and Juvie's the one that's trouble. Ah,
that
man.
that I don't worry. They always put the blame on me for everything, so it's okay.
Hey, I've almost 10 years of marriage, man. Almost 10 years of marriage this year. Thank God. You'll see. You'll see me like, yeah, babe, I'm going to Juvie's. Oh, Juvie's fine. He's a good guy. He's a good fella.
No lo conoce, pues. That's the real reason.
You gotta sometimes protect the innocent.
No,
Protect the guilty.
es que to the guys, I'm a threat, but to the ladies, I'm good.
Nah,
Dale,
man.
güey.
Nah, I think yeah, man, I was gonna actually I don't know how you guys felt about the Super Bowl. I know that John already kind of stated that it was boring, but um man, I feel bad for Mahomes. That fool did all he could and it wasn't like his receivers weren't helping him at all, man. It sucked watching it, but I think I like we said it during the chat, it was just a really boring Super Bowl and it Rafa put it to me like the most blatant way. Like, yeah, it's because it's not competitive, but
Yeah,
um, it's not by part of the quarterback on the Kansas City Chiefs side, but it was whack. Like, and then I was getting more mad that his receivers just weren't catching it because it was just such a boring game. It was like, bro, just catch the fucking ball, you know?
yeah, no, but congratulations to Tom Brady. Go 7 rings, man. He showed that he doesn't need Bill Belichick, and that was my biggest thing that I was rooting for the Buccaneers just because he got there and they can't give him that. Well, it was always Belichick's system. Bruce Arians is a hell of a coach, so um, yeah, congrats to the GOAT and Mike Evans. He's one of my favorite receivers. I'll pick him up in fantasy. I picked him up in fantasy for the past 2, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but a lot of people call it boring. I call it like it was basically just a well played out game by the Bucks. You know, basically, if you look at it like the X's and O's, you know, that's what you want. You know, you don't want it to be like entertaining, competitive. You know, you want just your team to dominate, and that's it. You know, and they basically they a lot of people say the receivers and all that, but I say it's a little bit of everything. You know, because there was a couple times that uh you know they locked down the quarterback. He wasn't able to get out of the pocket, or I felt like he held on to it a little longer. You know, he didn't get good coverage at times. Receivers didn't catch the ball either, so they just basically shut them down. and
yeah.
and that's it. You know, we can't take that away from the Bucks.
Nah, you're right. You're right in the aspect of if I was cheering for the Bucks, I would be happy. But in the way that as a normal fan, I rarely even watch football. Regardless, this is like the first game this year, last year, that I watched.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, you just want a game that goes to the end and it's the last couple minutes, So that's kind of where I was at with it. That's why I say it was boring. To the people that go for the Bucks and the people that even go for Kansas City Chiefs, those are the only people that feel uh that emotion towards it. Where Juby's right, like most people Tampa Bay outplayed them, but at the same time, when you buy it's kind of like when you buy a pay per view, you want a headbanger, you don't want just like a first round knockout either, So that's kind of what it
Not
was. You
not
pay.
everybody.
Well, yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying because, like you
I'm
said,
all
you're the
about.
You're, dale, dale, dale.
I was gonna say I'm all about the X's and O's. So when I look at a game, like I'm all about like, all right, cool. Let me look at the X's and O's. You know, that's why I love like guys like Greg Popovich for San Antonio. He always has boring games. They're never exciting. But if you look at the X's and the O's, there's a reason why he wins. Same
Tuca
thing with
Ferretti.
yeah, same thing with boxing. You know, a lot of people are not fans of Floyd Mayweather, but if you look at the X's and the O's, I love Floyd Mayweather because of what he does. You know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like where Mayweather give you 12 rounds, this was a first round knockout and the game was over.
Hey,
Hey,
it's
but
a
you know
good
what's
thing
the,
I hopped in right now because
hey,
did you guys see some of those calls they made? That was some sketchy calls in the first
nah,
half.
man. They didn't call nothing on the Niners last year yet. Nobody said nothing, but now they do it to these guys, and everybody's talking about it. Like it's me. I'm picking and choosing my battles, right? But you know what's the best thing out of that, Danny, that you said about like a pay per view and the 12 rounds?
Yeah,
The shit was free, so don't worry about
that's true.
it.
I just wasted 2 hours of my life though, 3 hours.
and you never answered me wanted to come or not. I would have sent an Uber for you. I invite that guys. Don't invite Danny because he'll never answer. He'll he'll
Uh,
he'll avoid the question.
yeah. I just went around the question and shit. I mean, you said it though. You had to cancel on the guys anyway. So imagine like me getting my hopes up. This is the first time that I go hang out with my friends, and then he goes with the, "Oh, you guys can't come."
Hey,
So
hey, so Juvy's making a move over the weekend, and we're gonna go get some birria. Rafa knows about that place.
No, wait,
You're
wait,
invited.
wait, wait. First of all, that's not even confirmed yet.
About the
So,
birria?
oh,
I already
ya
spoke to
empezó.
I already spoke to the party planner at 6 a.m. today. That's why I didn't talk to
really?
you in the morning. Yeah,
Oh well, I didn't get told anything.
we can go eat at the park, open air.
Rafa, no, I mean Rafa. Juvie already made plans, bro. That's it. That when he hits you with the nah, wait up. I didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
No, 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 no. The only reason is because
What's his
people
name?
make plan.
Oh,
Who?
Okay, well,
See how
No,
he stopped?
the
my
reason is
boy.
that the reason is that people make plans without me knowing that like anything, and then they hit me up like, "Hey, where you at?" I'm like, "What? I didn't know anything," and that's why
Well,
I'm asking like, "What? When did this happen?"
all right,
Uh,
man. Let's
that,
get it
Rafa,
started
how was your
before
weekend?
Juvie.
Um, you know what? I have been trying to stay away from people, so it's pretty easy.
I don't even know.
Besides that,
Hey,
Ah, ¿qué las? ¿Estás bien?
I
yeah,
know,
what
right? It sounds
happened?
weird. I don't know, man. It's just trying to
¿Cuál de
kick
todas
back,
casi te
during the week.
infectaron?
It's hard. It's a long week, and then just stay home, man. But watching Super Bowl is boring. I know you guys talked about it, but yeah, it could have been better.
Well,
Yeah.
the main thing we want to know: did you buy the beer pong table?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was shopping for
Hey,
in the middle of the game.
Rafa, if you want to buy a beer pong table, you're gonna have to invite someone to play with you, though. So
Oh well.
there goes staying away.
o contra la pared.
I'll make it
Uh,
work, man. There's never any bad times over here.
for you
That's
guys that
true.
don't know, for you guys that don't know Rafa, man, him and his brother can drink. That's for sure.
Yeah, you see, there goes that reputation.
Nah,
Hey, Juby
I'm
will give him his run for his money, man.
see,
Yeah,
but
something like that. You know,
I'm,
when I feel
well,
like it.
yeah, that's true. Cause I had to drive Juby's car one time from Oxnard.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
you know,
no, no, it's true. It's true. I went a little too far that day, and
the next morning.
hmm it was yeah. I stopped after that day. I stopped drinking for like a year.
Damn. Hey, you know what,
7 years.
Julie? We've all been there. Always,
Well,
there's always some point in our life.
I've been there a little too many times. That's the issue.
Juvie, what was his name?
Oh,
Welcome back, Juby. It's called bullying.
Yeah. No, but Rafa has seen me
Yeah,
drink.
yeah.
So
yeah, ponle unas de los temerarios o de los bookies and Julie's in it.
Oh, whoa. That's true.
No quiero que llore tampoco.
Nah, well,
no, no.
he does the opposite, empieza a tomar más.
Nah, man.
He's
Eh,
like, esa no, cámbiale, Rafa.
man. But
las,
as
las
we
de
start
Leo,
the
las
week,
de Leo Dan.
all right,
yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
heard those.
We're here to talk about soccer, no?
This is
this
fun.
is actually what is that thing? Intervention, Juvie. We need to talk to you.
Well,
Nah,
we're
man.
gonna stay here for a couple of days if you're gonna need an intervention.
Nah, man. As we start off the week, Atletico de San Luis Cholos. The game ends in a 2-2 tie after Felipe Gallegos is able to get that tie for Atletico de San Luis in the last minutes of the game, man. Uh, Overall, I think after the second goal hits, because I know Atletico scores in the beginning, and
hmm
then Cholos come back. They actually get the two goals
The PK.
up. Yeah, and then Atletico pretty much, they do whatever they can, and are able to get that last minute goal. But um, what was it in the first couple of minutes? I don't know if you saw the goal that actually happened against Orozco, where he kind of like doesn't really have that communication. It was kind of like that Corona goal with Ivan Marcone in the final, where they pass out the ball. And Pavones, I think, is the player that receives it, but he
Paves,
bobbles.
Paves.
Oh yeah, Paves, sorry.
Mhm.
He
Couple years
bobbles.
too late.
That's true. No, yeah, he bobbles it and pretty much gives up the ball to Juan Castro, which is able to put it away in the first couple of minutes. I know Fidel Martinez, he or Manotas actually, he gets a call. I don't know how you guys felt about that one. You John?
Look like a PK. They call soft PKs all over the world. So,
But how
you
did
know,
you feel about Fidel Martinez touching
el,
the ball with
el,
his hand?
um, the ref call it?
Well, so what happens is in the
No,
air.
no. I saw it, but the ref didn't call it, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And they,
Well,
and they
that
went
was
to bar, and they went to bar too
yeah.
to double check it.
He saw everything, and I mean, I thought it was a soft PK to begin with. I mean, the foul's not really that crucial. And then the fact that it even he like pretty much brings the ball down with his hand. I would have thought that that would have gone back. But yeah, man, I guess justice was served to Atletico de San Luis in the end.
Hmm.
With the goal in the last couple minutes.
Hey,
But Fidel Martinez actually scores right after that off a header, I think.
after the second goal, yeah, he scores the
Yeah.
2-1, and El Neymar Ecuatoriano, man, something that in his younger days he used to be called, and it's nice to see him back in those Cholo colors. I know he left to China to make that money, but it's a key piece. I think Cholos has been playing well, but and been saved by the spider. But I can't knock on San Luis, man. San Luis has been playing good soccer pretty much all season. It's just that in the beginning they weren't getting their calls.
Hey, you
Yeah.
gotta give San Luis some credit here because they had played 4 days after playing Leon away from home.
Yeah.
So they come back and take on Tijuana. And
Hmm.
like Danny said, they were down 2-1 at halftime, and the whole second half it was all San Luis.
It
And
was.
you know what? To be honest, Tijuana they could have lost this game, and San Luis
Yeah,
managed
for
to
sure.
rescue a point.
And not only that, Gallegos' goal, golazo, uh, pretty much
Mm.
bounces into the net. Orozco can't do anything about it.
Yep.
But yeah,
You
man,
know what?
like
It was also a bad clearance. It was another mistake. It was like at the end of the game, someone clears it to the middle of the field, and
yeah,
like you said, Gallegos golazo.
yeah, man. Overall, like you said, I think Cholos are picking up form, especially from the season that they had last year. At least they're in kind of those places to battle it out. I think they already got more points than they did last year. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me
But
on that.
you're right. I think so because remember last year when the season started, me and you both chose Cholos to be in that fighting for a playoff spot, and they disappointed us.
Oh, you know what? They actually got 15, but it's pretty close already.
Ya
Five
van, ahí la
games
llevan.
in. Yeah, 5 games in, and then
No,
already close
but
to that,
I feel
that
like this
mark.
season, Cholos made a few key like additions to certain areas that they needed help in. Uh, so it's like not necessarily like no surprise, but it's they the pieces they added, to me at least were helpful, and that's why we're seeing like a whole different how do you say team, I guess you could say, than we did
¿Estás nervioso?
again.
Tú.
No, no,
Well,
well, I'm just trying to like find the right words to put it like so it could sound nice. That's it.
honestly think they botched last year.
They
They
did.
had one of the better forwards, man. Now with Pan, and they just let him go for no reason. I honestly thought he had priorly had good seasons with Cholos. I never understood why, but I guess it is what it is. But they suffered for it. They pick up two players like Manotas. He's coming from the MLS, and Fidel Martinez is coming
Yeah.
from the
Hmm.
Chinese Super League. So good sign.
Yeah, but
And I know
he
Fidel's
has
been there
experience with
before.
Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been there
Pumas,
before at Cholos. No,
Leones Negros, Cholos.
yeah.
Yeah, multiple places.
And then picking up a low key player like Angulo from Puebla, which has been a really good
Oh,
left back in the league for a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, he's actually always been like one of the, in my book at least, one of the top ones since he's got in there. But he never gets the recognition that he deserves. Just because there's a few other guys, with bigger names out there. But and we also can't forget there's also a youngster by the name of Eduardo Tercero that did
That's where
decent.
I was gonna. That's where I was gonna go. I'm like, you can't forget Chewy's boy at center back.
Yeah,
Been
when
talking
he
to
was with
Tercero
Lobos.
since. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so in Lobos he was doing great. He went to Tigres, didn't really do much, but we see now again what he's capable of doing. So
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think for Cholos, we're just always expecting so much from them, especially with the players that they have. I mean, they're on the bench right now, Fabian Castillo and Marcel Ruiz. I would honestly like any of those players for my team. Um, but yeah, it's crazy to think that Cholos is this stacked, but they haven't really performed until now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See how it goes,
Well,
man. They're really good at home, but away, not as good.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see if it continues for them. But as we move on to the next game, Super Querétaro versus Pachuca, able to take the 3-1 win. In a game that, if you look at all the stats and everything, it shouldn't be happening. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the stats don't matter, and Querétaro take like they take the chances that they can, and are able to score three over Pachuca. Pretty much the last goal is kind of just un gol de descuento after Magallanes actually uh, scores an own goal. But yeah, man, it was a good game for Querétaro overall. I mean, this was one of the games that Antonio Valencia again, man, and that's why I said it last time. Like he came over here to play because that second goal, he pretty much created on his own from the midfield, takes the ball away from a defender and runs all the way past even the goalie, and makes it look easy too.
I never had a doubt that he was here to play. Rafa mentioned it last week, man. He's always been a quality player. He's just proving it. I'm sorry, I was gonna say showing it. But this guy is a very quality player, and he always leaves everything on the field. I think it was just a few weeks to adapt. Porque, like we've always said, when you come from a different league, sometimes it is a little bit hard to adapt to the Mexican league.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's never been the most technical player, but physically he's always been up to par, and I think he still has some years left in him. Like you said, maybe it took him a little bit, but he still has some physical qualities. He's strong. He's still fairly, not fast, but fast enough. And
Hmm.
how old is he? 35,
Yeah, I
around
believe
that
so.
age. But you know what? I think Pachuca continues to shoot themselves in the foot, man. If you see the beginning of the game, they missed one with De La Rosa at the beginning. Uh, Pocho Guzman had two at the beginning as well, and then before you know it, Querétaro sneaks in and takes two, I believe, off the bat.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think Gil Alcala had also. I mean, he had some key saves for Pachuca, uh, but you know,
Like
like
he does, like well
Gil Alcala,
for Querétaro.
yeah, for Querétaro, but what is it called? Because Pachuca kept knocking on the door and he wasn't letting anyone in. Um, but yeah, man, at the end, Kevin Ramirez also he makes a great run with Escamilla. Uh, or Escamilla time or he makes the great one. Escamilla times the pass perfectly over the
That
line.
was a
Uh,
that was a hell of a pass. It
yeah,
was like a tres dedos chip shot or
Hmm.
and
chip pass.
it was the way he defined the ball after that, man. Completely surprised the goalie and chips it over Ustari.
Well, look at who's coaching him.
El Piti.
¿Se acuerdan lo que hacía él? A ver, John, tú que eres el más viejito, ¿te acuerdas lo que hacía?
Sorry, we're recording. There's gonna be video, guys. Yeah, he used to chip them all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, it takes a certain level of skill to get it in. Like you can chip it as much as you want, but to finish it off, like that's something else, you know.
Yeah, it
So
was nice, man. It even bounced on the line. It wasn't like it was close to the post. It was nice technique.
Hmm.
The Madrigal goal was actually pretty nice too. You see, what's his face?
Sepulveda,
Sepulveda go down the line and cross it to Madrigal, who takes it on the volley, off
yeah,
balance.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, and and it's funny that Querétaro's winning with some of the players they have because a lot of these players were in other teams and they weren't doing much, but somehow they got their careers revived in Querétaro.
Hey, what's your
Sepulveda
crazy
is a perfect. Huh?
what's your crazy prediction with this team?
I mean,
Or
I
do you
don't think
have
it's.
one in another team?
Yeah.
I mean, at this moment, I don't have anything crazy, but I mean, like when the season began, I was really high on Puebla, you know, like I am every year. But other than that, like this year wasn't too crazy. None of those crazy predictions at the
Yeah.
moment. At the moment.
I think
Give it
overall, I
time.
mean,
Give it time.
Pachuca has to figure out whatever they have to, because I mean this was a this was a team that struggled or didn't struggle. They were fully capable of coming back against Cruz Azul, and I mean we saw what Cruz Azul did to Querétaro last week, and now Pachuca can't even, you know, finish it off with them. Like they're looking like the poorer team. I know the scoreboard is a lot different than what how the game actually happened, but
I like
Pachuca
that
definitely,
analogy.
yeah, but Pachuca definitely needs to figure out how to score, because it's just not landing, and it's not landing at the right time, because you know getting that gol de descuento doesn't matter at the end. Like that's when the team already knows, yeah, you know what, we can ease off the brakes, and it doesn't really matter, and for that to be an own goal, it's like at least score one so that your forwards could get that chip off their shoulder, and then the next game they come back refreshed. But not even that, man. The only way you score is from an own goal from Querétaro. So it's
Well,
it's it's
it's
tough.
it's it's like we talked in the last show. You know, you can play as good as you want. You need the results. You don't get the results, you're out of this league quick. And
Yeah,
I'm not honestly, I don't know the coach too much, but after 3 losses in a row and only 2 points to start with 5 games, I'm sure they're talking about someone else.
El agua ya está
yeah.
calentando, huh?
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
he brings
especially
the
with the
house.
squad they have.
No,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
like I know they're like Pachucas, man, que exige el
I mean,
señor
Danny
Martínez.
picked them for, top of the top four, so they got. I didn't agree with it, but they got to be doing better than this. They can't be
Y el,
close to the bottom with the noisy neighbors down there.
no, y luego Quiroga was top scorer.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, that's
I
true.
told Danny that was like 3 seasons ago. That wasn't last. No, it's been a while.
Nah, but he's still dominant in the air. It's just that it's not going in. Like I said, Gil Alcala had a game, bro. If you see the plays back, I mean, he has two headers that are on target, but Alcala just is able to stop them
How many goals
It
does he
will.
have this season?
this season.
¿Quién?
I think
¿Quiroga?
if he does, he only has one, but I
So
don't
he's
even
tied
know.
with Romo. Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's tough to watch when you know that this team is it's pretty much already formed. It's just the top. Yeah, he only has one. For he scored back in the first game against Juarez, but
It,
I'm
do you guys agree that Gil Alcalá was the goalkeeper of the Jornada?
no, I don't. But
So I saw it somewhere, and I think Chapo Sanchez was up there too, which I don't agree with either. But um, just asking.
no, I think I know that I wrote it down in the notes. There's two better goalies. One's a little bit biased, but I mean it is what it is. And then the other one, I'll figure. I think it was Acevedo,
Don't,
man.
you better not say Corona, because
I think it was, man. I think he had a really good game. I
He
think
did.
Gudiño had a good game too.
Está mejor Gudiño. Está mejor Gudiño.
There's a lot of
I think to me this whole season Acevedo has been like pretty much
but we're
uh
talking about the Jornada.
Yeah,
yeah
Jornada.
yeah pretty well. That's when like every
Oh,
week
Chuy had
every
no,
week.
no. You know what? Chuy, I can't deny it. Chuy did have a solid. Let's get into that game, Danny.
Yeah,
I know
man.
you watched that one.
As we, as we move on
I,
to the
I was just gonna say that the last time John praised the goalie, he started playing bad. He praised Jonathan Orozco, and then he's been bad
What are you
since.
talking about?
No,
Nah,
he's been giving up goals
he
like
keeps
one a
them in the
game.
game.
Yeah,
That's
but if he
that's the
gives away
defense
goals at the
fault.
beginning,
That's the defense
pero
fault.
that was
he
a
needs to.
bad pass.
I
Bueno,
think
pues,
that
bueno, then predict it.
I,
Chuy Corona va a ser bien. Mira,
I think that week that John predicted Jonathan Orozco was the when that Brian Mendoza kid made the half court I mean the half field shot on him.
Yeah, was it Mendoza?
Yeah, no, the en Pumas, no, que le metió el gol de media cancha.
No recuerdo. I'm not sure if it was him, but I know what goal you're talking about.
Rafa, te estás desquitando por lo del América last week, huh?
Yeah, I'm
That's
going
why
after both of you. I went after Danny last week. And Sigues tú.
Yeah, but as we move on to the next game, the Caxa versus Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul is able to take the 2-0 win. after 2 goals from Luis Romo and Juan Escobar, and almost a goal from Orbelin Pineda, but the goal is called back after it's reviewed in VAR, and Pineda's actually he actually fouled the player that he took the ball away from, which is honest. Um, this
Why
game
is
could
it?
this game could have finished like 4-0, but they just aren't able to get those 2 goals in the second half. I know that me and John talked about it, but they pretty much hit the pole and
Mm-hmm.
bounce off. So it's still a good win overall. And yeah, man, they're doing well. I like the incorporations that the team's doing, as well as Shaggy playing a little bit more. But the thing, and I think the reason why he is playing is we're not sure if Pablo
Because he's
Aguilar.
good.
Well, no, not only that, but we're not sure if Pablo Aguilar is gonna resign. So it's good in case he doesn't, to start putting in that other center back now, and kind of take away his titularidad, because at some point you're gonna have to do it.
Uh,
So
Trust me,
it's
my boy Shaggy, he got it covered. Don't worry.
no, but I mean, for Pablo Aguilar, if he doesn't resign, they have to look into the future, and know that, you know
Shaggy's the future, man. I'm telling you.
they don't play the same position. You
Nah, I agree with Joey. Shaggy, he played well, and I've been talking about Escobar moving to center back.
He
What a
did
player
well.
to replace him.
Well,
Mhm.
wasn't that his natural position?
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
believe
is.
so.
he was a center back.
Uh,
But I mean, you had at the time when he got here, you had people like Cata and Aguilar that were playing very, very well. Now, with Aguilar maybe making the move, it's time to restructure the backfield, and I don't even think Cata's the man. So I want to see what ends up happening, like, with that situation, because I know that Aguilar is coming back from an injury, so you could kind of do this right now. But when Aguilar asks, like, "Hey, I need to be starting. I need to be playing. Like, why am I not playing?" Like, that's when the issue is gonna arise. But at the moment, I think that they're incorporating them back into the team, and at the same time, when they go up 2-0 or whatever, they drop a 5 line. So Pablo Aguilar is in the back, and they actually drop one of the forwards, which, I mean, it's good because they hold that lead, and there's so much experience in the backfield. But
I
go
have a
ahead,
question
John.
for that. I have a question for
Yeah,
that.
I was just gonna say, and you picked up Alexis Peña, so
yeah,
great player.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Great player.
Um.
I like
So
how
so so my
I like the sarcasm.
so
Thank you for.
okay. I thought, do you need to resign Aguilar?
Nope.
If you can, you would. I
Huh?
would. It. I would.
But then you're not giving that much playing time to somebody like Reyes, which he's done
Yeah,
stuff well when he comes in. That's
yeah.
that, and I'm asking you not to pick on you or anything. It's a legitimate question because this is where we contradict ourselves when it comes to the experience to the youngster.
So
Because
so this is why. So yeah. So let me explain to you why I would sign Aguilar, for the same reason that you re-signed Shaggy. Because if this happens again, where, let's say Reyes gets injured, you have a player that in the depth that can play. So at the same time, like, if you give Reyes the starting position, you still have Aguilar in the backfield. Because for a while we didn't see Shaggy play, and to see him have a resurgence on the team, and play well, and fight for those positions, guess what?
Mhm.
Another player is going to get better because of it, because no matter
True.
what, now they're not taking my job, he's outworking me.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
mean, the
but
only
how many
reason,
center backs do you have?
At
like,
this moment.
5.
Five.
No, it's
Think of
four. It's got
Cata's a center back. Pablo
Pablo
Aguilar, Reyes,
Jose Reyes
Escobar,
and Peña. No,
and
Or
Peña.
but I mean, Escobar plays that
yeah,
right back position for the most part.
But his
Let's
natural
not
position is a
change.
center back.
And
I'm not
whoa,
changing
whoa,
it.
the only reason,
He came as a
yeah.
center back because we all saw the highlight videos when we didn't know about him. That he
who?
was
No,
in
but
the center.
he's been playing a better right back in the past year
He
than
didn't. That's true
he's
because
been
that
he's been all right. He's not like a sick
Yeah.
right back. I think he's a sick center back because he has all the qualities.
he's
Yeah.
he's not a Chaka and he's not a Navarro. because those are the
And,
top right now.
and the reason why I'm saying 5 is because let's not forget that Romo. I know even though he's not playing it right now, center back is also.
We talked about this. He's a box to box midfielder now.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's over.
that golazo, man. I almost put it as a goal of the day, but it the shot was amazing, but the that extra leg work that Cabecita did to save it from going out of bounds and bringing it back in, luego la Cabecita de pase, como dijo Ronaldo, Rafa, against Juve, 1-2, and boom.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, well, my opinion in that matter is the only reason why I wouldn't resign Pablo is because
Es el América.
no, like
Cholos.
he's a great guy to have in your team, you know. But let's
He's
go back a couple
Mexican.
well, I mean, like he's been in Mexico pretty much his whole career, you know. So
Yeah.
so like, and he started with, you know, like the small teams like San Luis and blah blah blah. So
Cholos.
like, you know,
Cholo, small team. También.
mhm. But if we take back the last couple of seasons, he's been more injured than playing, right?
Yeah,
He's
I think he
he's a
had
little
before this.
He had an injury that shouldn't have happened because he shouldn't have played that game. Right or wrong,
Yeah.
the Conca Champions against I don't want to disrespect anybody, but like Antigua or
It was Portmore United from Jamaica, I think. Something
le
like that.
duele
Worse.
porque se acuerda.
no, but like that's besides the point. So like, let's take into consideration like the amount of time that he's played on the field versus injury. You know,
At
so
least he
then
plays, man. Alpeña didn't play a single game for us.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
One against Dorados.
But
Yeah,
then look,
that was a
but then
copa, I think.
but then look at the competition that was ahead of him también.
Like
So but then like we'll get back to that. So like right now is you have Kata and Juan in the middle, and then you have Shaggy. So the reason why Shaggy is a good signing is because in that position, without Juan Escobar playing on that side, who do you really have that you're like, okay, I could throw him in there and he'll get something done.
well, now you have Jiver. You have Jimenez. And I
But
think
is he as proven as a guy like Shaggy?
Oh, that's that youngster that just debuted, right?
because
Nah,
he's a young, but it's the same
not a youngster.
thing.
He's like 26.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
not a
Ya
young,
está
debuted.
viejito.
he's young in the
Ya
league.
está
Y
viejito.
luego, y luego otra vez mi amigo Misael Domínguez comiendo banca, pobrecito. Pero es estrella.
No, yeah, I agree.
Lo desperdician.
Hey, whether he becomes a star in Cruz
That's
Azul
not what
and
you said. No, you said
gonna-
he's a star right now.
I think he is, man. I honestly, even with the games that he's had, I know that they talked about him and they said like, I mean, he has more direct passes, he has more in the like inside the box play than most of the players that play 70 minutes. So that's crazy. I mean, to not to that's pretty like how you say, to put him, leave him on the bench and just let him hang out, it's stupid because this guy gives more to the attack than half of the players that are on the field, and he has way less time. So
Mhm.
it sucks. It's tough, and that's the only thing that like is why give Walter Montoya
Montoya.
Montoya.
and Paul Fernandez time when you have a player that like Misael that's proven, that gives you that
Because
opportunity. Go.
because you went and spent money on them, so you want to get your money's worth.
No, they're
No, but
That's
they
the
spend
only.
money. They spend money on Misael Dominguez from Monterrey too.
yeah, and not only that, I mean, we didn't really spend money to bring back Paul. Now we're just paying his
His
salary.
wages.
Yeah, so it's a tough situation for Misael. I know that the afición has been asking for it, and I mean, I think I'm been one of the guys that I think the only reason why I do it is because if I don't, nobody else will see Misael for the player that he is.
Yep.
My boy's a
Juvie.
star. All right.
Yeah, we've been talking about him since the U20 World Cup because it was him and Macias and like 9 more.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
He's still young, man. He's 21, but it sucks to see him not play. You know, in other leagues, like we always bring it up, there's stars that are 19, 20 already, and in
You
our league,
look
they're
as
still
close as Palmeiras. They had some real young guys out there against Tigres.
yeah.
2021, and we're talking about in positions that you want to have some experience in.
Sí, el pedo es acá que, this is what we
You
got
know,
in this area.
if it was up to me, I would make the change between Baca and Misael. That was up to
Nah, but
me.
they don't play the same position.
Oh,
No, but then you have other players around them that could take those positions and then have Misael uh, move
Nah,
into his natural
I mean,
position.
straight
It
up,
was,
Roberto Alvarado hasn't been doing well right now. You put Misael. If not, you know, it's kind of interchangeable to the point where, um, you can tell them like you guys are fighting for the starting spot every week, and whoever does better, continues to play. If you guys don't do it, you guys get put down. But that's the natural position that Misael would play in. I don't think he's playing in the center mid, and I don't think he's taking Pineda's spot on the right side either. So that's the only position right now that I would give up. Alvarado's still young, so they both have to either grow into the position and get better, or someone,
Mhm.
someone
But
that
but but
dominate the other.
Misael didn't start playing in that left side his whole career. He could play in the middle.
that's where he
Yeah,
played in
but
the
right
U World
now
Cup.
yeah, but with the midfield that we have, like who's he really taking? I don't think he's taking Baca's spot. I don't think he's taking Romo's spot. And then you have a center, like a midfielder like Paul Fernandez coming in. So
Yotun.
Yotun too. So
But
it's
then
tough. That's tougher. That's tougher to sell because Baca's doing well and
Mhm.
Romo's doing
uh,
amazing.
but
yeah,
then
but
if you,
like like you said, you just gotta find some playing time for him. You find some spots for, like you said, Montoya and Paul. Why not? Misael. You went ahead and bought him from another team, and there's been multiple coaches come in and they still don't play him.
So,
Yeah.
so the good thing out of all this, there is light at the end of the tunnel with this, is that Conca Champions is going to have more games. League Cups is coming back. So there is
No,
going to
but
be plenty of time.
John, ¿hasta cuándo vas a esperar para que juegue el chamaco? Why
when
are you
he's
gonna wait till
20,
then?
when
So,
he's the
so
same age
you,
as was the other guy's name Javier?
but so you're right. No,
Javi's
you made,
Javi's half of a veteran already.
yeah.
He's past the veteran.
So that's I like how Danny does defend Misael, but he didn't defend Reyes like that. Like, hasta cuándo vamos a esperar, right?
Yeah.
Reyes is a little bit older,
No,
isn't it?
but
Reyes like 23.
No, like
Reyes is like
21,
24 years
19.
old.
I don't know.
He's 24. He's not on the
Uh,
young side.
he's not neither. Oh,
But
I thought he was. I thought he was. But good point on
they
Misael, Danny. I respect that you defend him and you had good points. But like Rafa
yeah,
said, ¿hasta cuándo el muchacho va a estar
I
esperando
yeah.
mean,
until he gets
it's
antsy?
because
It's
they
the
keep
same.
saying, "Oh, well, we're waiting for those games, and there's gonna be more competition, more games during the week." But what do you mean? Why wait till then? Why you gotta
It's just
wait
Yeah,
till
no,
that
I agree.
little batch
I
of
think
games starts?
and
Mhm.
yeah.
and see, and it sucks because then you're gonna start seeing other players like Marcel Ruiz that Danny every time Cholos he brings him up and he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
to me, like the best move would be I know you guys say que not smart or whatever, but Rafa Vaca has been to me like the weakest link to this point. Oh,
I think you haven't been watching the games, man.
I'm not.
mm,
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying tear apart the ship. I think Rafa Bach has been a good player.
Yeah,
What I'm
Yeah.
saying
San,
is
Her-
putting
San,
Misael for more
I
than 5 minutes.
playing time. But what I guess what I'm like arguing with Juvie about is that you can't put him in that center mid because you have other players that for
there's other.
sure can hold the midfield. You have Yotun still. You still have
Mhm.
um and then you still have Alexis Gutierrez, who is another player that why even make them compete with each other when they're not playing the same position?
Who's
Chiva
that,
Let
hermano.
them
Danny? I don't know that
play.
guy. He
Alexis
left. He decided to leave. He
mm.
quit.
no lo conoces. Nah, man.
¿Ves,
But
No,
Danny? Cuando no miran los partidos y you hear something, you're like, no, no los miras.
So
Háblame
no,
de
no,
Organista or some of the other young
no,
guys on my team.
no es que no los mire. I'm just saying like how do you say, if you wanna pick and choose, like how do you who's
I gave you an option. Like Roberto Alvarado hasn't been playing well. Why not? You know, they're both on the younger side. They can both
Mhm.
go with
They can
this.
both play that left side.
Yeah, so it's like,
Mhm.
hey, guess what? You know, you haven't, and I like I feel like I'm agreeing with Juvie, but Juvie just doesn't want. He's like, nah, leave Alvarado
no no
there
no
and take
no no
Vaca.
no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that just because you call someone the weakest link doesn't mean they've played bad. You know, like it just means that
But
to me, like it's a position that you might be able to do something to
yeah,
improve. You know, and
oh,
if you could work someone in there like a Misael, or like I said, you have multiple people in that lineup that are. I know you guys always make fun of me for like putting players in like random positions, but you know there's certain qualities that I see that might work.
Osorio, is that you?
Hey, Joey, I swear you should get your coaching credentials. I want to see where you can take this.
Yeah,
They can get it like Hugo Sanchez in Nicaragua.
I mean, you know,
uh,
it always sounds a little crazy, you know, but if you just look at certain qualities in players, you're
I
like, all
don't
right,
know why. I just imagine Juvie just yelling and being Antuna, vas a jugar portero. But
He's
no,
gonna find
that's
a
a whole.
striker to play fullback.
Notice that
Hey,
we don't want to talk about the other game, Danny. That's why we're still talking about Cruz Azul.
yeah, I
no,
mean,
no, we can move on.
as
¿Para qué?
Juvie's been waiting to move on. He's just like, ah,
No.
okay,
Like I actually was willing to talk about Cruz Azul, but my opinions keep getting shut down.
no, I literally told you I agree with you, but I think you're picking at the wrong spot because Baca has been better than Roberto Alvarado. Like how you say we take out the weakest link, I think it's Alvarado. It's not Baca.
No, Vaca's been good. Vaca's been good. I would take
He's been
Pablo Aguilar for Reyes.
he's been average, not good, average.
Sí.
As we move on to the next game, Atlas versus Santos Laguna, uh, game ends in a 1-1 tie after Jonathan Herrera. I don't know how you if you guys saw the goal. It was the most awkward goal
The
I've
last
ever
one
seen in my
for
life.
Atlas?
Yeah, in the last
Yeah, it
minutes of the
was
game. Hey man,
bunch of
they
bounces.
were trying. They almost had it. I think Caraglio misses a couple. Number 8 misses a couple.
No
Uh,
surprise.
but
¿De qué
but
se
yeah,
ríen? ¿De qué se ríen?
Del tanque.
hey, nah, man, he had a couple shots on target. It was just that Carlos Acevedo honestly had one of
That's been
the
his
better
whole
games.
career. He's always had shots on target, but never makes them.
Hey man,
Let's give him some credit. He was the leading scorer of the league at one point.
yeah, it's true. But yeah, man, I think overall Acevedo really saved Santos because you know towards the end of the game it was all Atlas. It was surprising to see, but it was happening, and I was like, holy shit, they might come back. But yeah, it actually does happen, and it happens in the most awkward way ever, where the ball just kind of bounces in, and nobody's there to save it. No one's there. It just falls in the right place, I guess.
Rafa, any
Yeah, I'm
cuts?
watching it right now. It kind of just trickled in.
Yeah, that's
But
that's what I'm saying. It was just awkward. Like Acevedo just kind of saw it bounce in. He tried to grab it. There was no defender around, and it just ¿cómo se llama? De panzazo, ti. And I was but yeah, man. Overall, uh Atlas deserved to tie, I guess. You could say that. They controlled the second half, but that was pretty much it.
Moving on.
Moving on to the next game.
well, I'll just give Atlas a little bit of credit. I mean, we gotta talk about all teams. They played good. I mean, it's surprising more on Santos because they were playing pretty well, and then to go lay an egg over there. But yeah, moving on.
Oh,
No,
el
but
otro partido que los toca.
No,
before we
oh,
move
wait,
on,
wait,
you
Why do you
know,
want to move on so fast, John? Come on.
no,
Yeah,
like before we move on, the only thing I want to say is, you know, I know Acevedo, keeps getting the short end of the stick pretty much every week. But
No, Danny talks about him like twice a podcast.
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about like on the scoreboard, you know.
What do you mean? He did it. I literally said he had one of the better games in the league.
No. I'm not
On the
saying
scoreboard. Como
not
un gol
like
así, de panzazo.
like like typically, you know, he plays a good game, and then something like
Something
this happens.
Well,
You know?
let's not. I don't know if you guys saw the Santos Laguna goal, but it wasn't really remarkable either.
No.
I think who was it? Otero. I want to say
No, it
botches
was
the shot.
The little bald
oh,
dude, right?
Was it Otero? He botches the
No.
shot, and
come
then
on. Yeah, he whiffs at it and then it falls onto Campos.
yeah, Campos is actually the player that takes the shot, but everybody was expecting Otero's shot to hit the goalie, so they kind of moved over, they shifted, and when the ball just kind of lands in front of Campos's feet, no one's in front of him, so he takes his opportunity and runs with it, and
There's
scores.
no
But
there's no info on Omar Campos. I'm assuming he's a kid because he's number 190.
Transfer market.
right, this is his third game though. He's been sitting bench. This is his third game playing. He played last week and against Tigres 2 weeks ago. Um, but yeah, man, it's crazy. I think, yeah, I don't even have information on him either. But overall, you know, it's kind of Santos kind of got saved by getting a point. Honestly,
Not bad.
is crazy to hear because you know it's Atlas.
They're lucky they got a tie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
big brother, little brother.
As we move on
Se
to the next,
dejaron, se dejaron.
as we move on to the next,
¿Por qué
America
regalan puntos? Luego dicen
America.
que no descienden.
All right, I'm gonna mute you guys. Yeah, estuvo. America versus Puebla game ends in a 1-0 win for America as Roger Martinez is able to find the scoreboard in the 66th minute. Um, yeah, man. I think. Oh, this is actually the game that I was talking about. I don't know if you saw the save from Anthony Silva because I have it in my
Mhm.
notes. I'm like going through them all. But in the 43rd minute, I don't know if you saw Aguilera's free kick, but Silva's able to get all the way to the right.
Silva.
Huh?
So Mexicano. Silva, es Mexicano.
Oh, Silva. But yeah, man,
He's Mexican?
able to he's
Oh,
able to,
Latino.
I think he's Argentinian.
Yeah.
But he's able to get all the way to the right side after Aguilar pretty much places the ball perfectly, and Silva's still able to get a hand on the ball. But yeah, man, one of the better saves I've seen in a while. I honestly didn't expect it. I thought that was gonna be the goal, and then it wasn't, and I was like, oh shit.
No, he
But
had a couple good saves. He had a couple good saves. In the 24th minute, he had one from an
no,
outside shot that
that was one of the better saves in the league for a while. Like this was literally like it should have gone in. Any other goalie, it goes in. Some people like
No.
even Corona. Sometimes he'll just watch it go in.
Oh.
You know.
That's true.
Hey,
That's
hey,
true.
hey, notice how I talk shit about my own players though. Juvie don't do that.
Hey, dude.
I do. Hey,
Um,
actually, I think Coutinho save what was it on yesterday was pretty good too.
Yeah.
El
The one,
cabezazo. Que la
that one
sacó
and the
con
one that they left him alone off the second post and he had to make a stretch shave.
Mhm.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you guys
Hey,
got
but
this one if you haven't.
I
was
just
gonna,
saw it. It was gonna hit the pool.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, he literally got a hand on it though.
what minute
Regardless
is
of
that,
whether it
Gus?
was gonna hit the pole or
Four.
not, le puso.
Uh,
Because I know that Talavera had one like that too.
that was gonna hit the top of the bottom of the top pool. Minute 3, second 13.
Minute what?
Minute 3, second 13.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Third,
Maybe.
I mean, no me
I'll
sale.
give it.
It jumped straight to
40,
6.
43rd minute.
Oh, 43.
Yeah, it's because he's the.
Oh, I'm looking at the
the
access that
Oh.
Liga MX gave us.
But overall, Choa also had some key saves to help America get the win. I think there was a couple shots on target that he's just able
nice.
to keep up. But yeah, man, overall good game for both goalies. Also, I just wanted to say this. Maximiliano Perg. I don't know how to say his last name. Perg. Perg. Um, dude's a fucking idiot. I don't know if you guys saw the last minute yellow that he got. He already knew he had a yellow. I don't understand what the point of holding the player was. Like it was not on a dangerous play. It's in the midfield. The player's not gonna get away from you. There's still, uh like 50 yards to go. And he holds on to the player with his dear life and gets another yellow and gets sent off. I think it was the stupidest thing to do, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about when players do stuff like that. But if he would have been on my team, I would have been yelling at him throughout the game. But yeah, man,
I'm, I don't
I'd
know.
have to look at it, Danny. What minute was that?
that it's literally in the 90th minute. It's like 92. The game's practically over. You're just waiting for the ref uh to call the whistle, but
I
you got
I don't know.
to see it.
You know what,
Hey,
man? Sometimes it's the lack of oxygen, and you're just not thinking straight anymore.
yeah. Hey, props to Ochoa for getting better from COVID, man.
Oh yeah, that's true too, man. I know that he was. They were at, like some of the fans were asking, if Oscar Jimenez is doing well, why even put Ochoa in, especially him coming back from COVID.
Cause
But
money talk.
he has a good game.
They're paying him a lot of money to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Hey, they can afford it.
They can.
you know.
All
They
that
can
Televisa
afford
money. Don't doubt it.
it. As we
Hmm.
go on to the next
Hey,
game.
oh, sorry, Danny. I don't know if we didn't even talk about the Monterrey Puebla, because Anthony Silva played well in that game as well.
That was probably like what in the middle of the week, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we talked about it because when we last
Because
did
of
it, we were
COVID.
talking about Leon. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
it was postponed because of COVID.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. I guess because you know how like they set them up by rounds that I didn't even um
But I
see.
think technically it's considered round five that game, or at the end of round four.
Yeah,
My bad.
they put it
End of
like
round four.
four.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing this game honestly,
I mean,
but
I mean,
the
the only
game
thing I could say is that Monterrey came back from COVID, and Puebla had a. They're not as bad as people think they are. I think they're really competitive.
Hmm.
yeah. Um,
The scoreboard just doesn't reflect it at the moment.
well, I think that overall they've been getting points where a lot of people thought they shouldn't. And regardless of the situation, they've been having those 1-0 losses against teams like America and another team like Cholos. So um they for a team to not get goleada or whatever or not receive that many goals at the moment, I mean it's a good sign for them at least. Puebla's been on the more we obviously we I think me and Rafa talked about it in the beginning of the season, but this is kind of the dark horse, and even when they beat Cruz Azul, um they just were more competent and they were doing a lot better with what's the guy's name? Omar. I forgot his last name.
Ormeño
Huh?
or what? Which were you
No,
talking about? Puebla or
Hernandez, no. Santiago Ormeño and the who's the other winger, but
Tabo
yeah, Tabo, they're fast, man.
and
They're
Omar
one of the
Fernandez.
surprise.
They're
A
quick.
lot of so I think that alone it surprises a bunch of teams. I know that they lost against America this week, but at the same time, it's something to be in that game and to try to fight it out. I think this could have been a shot, to get over that hump of beating one of the better teams with America coming back, Ochoa coming back from COVID, as well as a new manager going in and everything. So they could have surprised America for sure. Uh, but yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I think honestly the Roger Martinez goal, if I remember it correctly, it was kind of I don't know if he takes on just one defender and pretty much makes the goal at Tunel in Silva. Um, but yeah, it kind of it's kind of lucky, kind of not. At the end of the day, that's kind of the hardest place to make a goal on a goalie. But when you see it, it's like, oh shit, it looked nice. But yeah, overall, Puebla deserved the tie, and you know, that's really all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, you could say I'm seeing it right now. I think Silva could have been at the first post a little bit quicker. And yeah, they did 5-hole him. Uh, yeah, man. I mean, we'll talk about it every week. Puebla, they do what they can with the little money that they have. They don't invest like all the other teams. They just don't have the capital, I suppose. And with what they have, they've been pulling out results. I mean, they only have 3 goals against, and they're sitting with 5 points. It's good for them.
Yeah, I think they're tied for. Oh, actually, no, Rayados. They have 0 goals against. So, they're tied for second place with a couple other teams, America, Cruz Azul, Tigres, and Pumas as well. But I mean, they're considerably some of the better teams in the league too. Oh, and Santos as well. They're actually with 2 goals.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
Puebla is just that team that like what they did last season. A lot of people didn't expect much to them, and look at they took the champion pretty much to the last.
Was it?
I guess
To
you
the
could say
limit.
like to the limit, and they beat Monterrey that was supposedly way stacked. Uh, According, on paper, they were way better than Puebla. And like I said, man, Puebla is one of those teams that they just for some reason the results just never end up on their side. But they're a scary team
You,
if they start playing well.
yeah, I think when Puebla beat Rayados, I thought it was kind of just to serve for the season that was kind of taken away from Rayados, where they were in the last place position and they weren't fighting for anything. With the league that got canceled, so you could kind of say that Puebla took that away from them. And that's kind of how I saw it, where Puebla took that chance and went on. I think who did they face off after Leon?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the first game they were competent. They did very well, but in the second game, Osvaldito didn't play. I think he might have been injured. But yeah, I think he was a game changer in the first game that they needed in the second game, and for some reason, he played like till the 80th minute. But yeah, Puebla can definitely surprise teams, and I think that's what they need to work on under. I think Reynoso, when he had the team, when he was asked about it, like, oh, who are the underdogs or whatever, he's like, we want to be the underdogs. We're a $4 million cap team. We have to be the underdogs, and kind of use that to our advantage because we're not supposed to win. Not to say that they can't, but uh, other teams gotta get pressured under that.
At least used to do it with lesser money, right, Julie?
Yeah, no, like it shows that you don't need money to build a squad. As long as you have the right pieces in the right areas, you can make anything happen. And hopefully Puebla, they could do something similar like they did last season. Because like I don't know why, but I like rooting for the underdog. And every season, you always hear me say Puebla, Puebla, Puebla. So
Puebla,
Mhm.
Puebla, Querétaro, Puebla, Puebla. That's what I heard. Uh, as we move on to the next
Good
game,
point. He has.
Raya, Rayados versus Pumas. Rayados able to take the 1-0 win after Akeloba is able to score in the 31st minute. Um, After that, I think Alan Mosso actually gets the yellow card, um, which pretty much doesn't help Talavera's case because I think to that point Talavera was holding down Pumas. But after that, it was tough, and the game ends in a 1-0 win. I don't know if you guys saw the goal, but I kind of thought Akeloba was offsides.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
Hey, after 5 weeks, you finally watched the Pumas game.
But yeah, man, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I think after the red card, it was pretty much game set match. I think what's his name?
Mozo.
Aguirre. He's
No.
playing to the minimum and making sure that he gets wins right now.
Hey,
You
like
want to
we said,
secure your
man.
position.
Yeah, you gotta get them points. And I mean, 0 goals against. I don't know if I don't think it's fair to say he's settling, but he's getting not maximum points, but he's getting most of them.
No, but I guess
But that's always been Aguirre's style. Even when he was in Atletico or Leganes, was it Leganes?
Yeah.
When right, that's always been his style. He's nothing flashy. Just because he came back from Europe after so many years, is not going to mean that it's going to be an attacking football like Solari has. And
Hey,
Solari's winning one
there's
nothing.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it either. I mean, there's
yeah,
different approaches to the game, and as long as you get the points and you're competitive.
maybe settling wasn't the word, but it was he's making sure that after that he doesn't want to take any high risks.
Like I said, he's never been like that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah,
Some
he's
coaches have tried that, and it hasn't
no,
worked for them.
yeah, no. He basically, like John says, he's never been flashy or anything like that, but he'll get you the points at the end of the day. And we saw that against a team like America. Who America is one of the more flashier ones, I would say. He got the win over them, and like I just like what he's doing. I think he's like Rafa said, he's maximizing what he has, and that's good for him, man. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
The X's
I'm
and the
looking at it,
O's.
Danny. I don't think it was outside. I think it was on the line.
It was close though, right? Like,
Yeah, it was close. But yeah, I mean, if you go back to the team where when he coached at Leganes, you gotta give him credit. They got rid of both of his top strikers and still managed to almost finish uh to stay in
Same.
Primera. Yeah, almost.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think it came down to like the last couple games, no?
To the last game
Yeah.
against big almighty Real Madrid, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
as
Y
as
la
we
de Chivas, ¿dónde está?
as we move on to the next game, Chivas versus León. Chivas take the win.
Wait, Toluca.
Toluca. Oh
Toluca
shit.
Mazatlan.
I skipped that game, bro. I guess that's the game that I
Hey,
missed this week.
how could you skip the super leader?
Oh man, I don't
El
know.
Toluca.
Toluca take a 4-1 win
4-1
with a
win.
golazo from Sambuesa, yeah.
Hey, you know why? Because this
Mm.
was the early game.
And the one goal Mazatlan made was an autogol.
Hey, and it was the early games for everybody, even the NBA.
Yeah,
Super Bowl
For
Sunday.
the Super Bowl.
bro. I'm telling you, I can't watch games before 12. I didn't even realize this game happened.
Oh, that's right.
Uh,
No, I got
there,
up to see the City Liverpool game actually. So I
but
was even
there's
earlier.
me and Rafa text at 5 a.m. about Chelsea. Rafa's one of those nuts, bro. You live everybody lives their game a different way, and Rafa's one of my people.
It just depends, man. Like on the team, obviously, like my brothers are big Premier League fans. So if their teams are playing at 4 in the morning, I'm like, I might as well stay up or let's wake up early, Nothing a little cafecito can't fix. Plus watching the Prem, man. Prem is a beast of a league.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a different fucking. Have you signed up for anything?
nah. I'm still thinking about it.
Tú eres una de las novias de esas que when we get home we'll take care of it. Oh, okay. I'm tired.
Alexis Canelo scored
Oh man.
3 goals with a hat trick. We haven't seen a hat trick in a while. Ruben Sambuesa also scores one to help dominate over Mazatlan. Mazatlan gets the discount goal with Sambueso in the 67th minute. Yeah, man. Overall, good game for Toluca. I think that it's fair to say that Cristante has picked up this team and gotten it to where it is. They're in
And the
first.
second time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
They're-
did
Hey
it the
man,
first time. We
prop,
talked about it though.
props to the viejito, man, because that fool scored a fucking golazo. Nothing but nice goals
Yeah.
all weekend long. Especially in
¿Cuál
the last game.
viejito? ¿Cuál viejito? Si que no tiene tu edad.
Oh.
Damn.
I just
don't got
got a
nothing.
text message from John saying that we're not going anymore, Julie. Forget about it.
Hey, no, I just got a
We found
text.
the replacement.
No, I just got a text from John that Juby's out. I'm in.
Yeah, Danny's in.
See
So
that's
we're
why I
gonna
don't get it.
celebrate for you without you.
That's why I don't get invited.
That's
Hey.
cool. Nah, man. As we move, can I move on there? It's just,
Yeah,
I
let's
thought we
move
were gonna
on.
talk about the Super League. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
I can't. I mean,
Mazatlan laid an egg, and yeah, Crisante's doing a good job with this team, and he put them back where he thinks they should belong.
Hey man, they got great pieces, and even the defense is solid with
Brachetti,
Brachetti.
it's Brachetti
Shit.
and
Sí, el duelo de
Tornillo.
Yeah,
Y el Dedos. Let's not forget about Dedos, man.
no
Wait,
creo que juega. I think it's el stripper
No,
Salinas.
well, this game was Dedos Lopez, no?
Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, you're right. He's there.
yeah,
My
man.
Ahí está,
apologies.
ya ves. Ya, si yo veo los partidos, nomás que no me creen.
Hey, but like players like the young guy Castañeda that we talked about before, Gaito Vasquez that settled right into that defensive mid spot. It's just him and the people behind him, people in front of him, anything in that little area that's his.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
well,
they're
just like he
utilizing
used,
him correctly.
just like he used to do it in Santos, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like he did it once upon a time with every other team he's been at, besides his
Mhm.
second stint with Chivas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking about Chivas,
Speaking about Las Chivas gets the win 3-1 over Leon. They beat Taracha again.
again, Danny, I want your thoughts.
What do you mean?
I want your thoughts on this game.
I think overall, I mean,
And did you watch the second half? Because I know you didn't watch the first
I
one.
watched the second half. I
Okay.
mean, honestly, shit, even with the red card, I liked how Joel Campbell fucking came in and dominated that right side on that one run. And I was like, fuck, like Leon's known to dominate
And
with
we got kids listening to the show too, eh? Calmadito.
Me vale. Nah,
Mhm.
man, but overall, I mean, they after the third goal happened, I was like, damn, that's it. Leon lost and Chivas wins. But during that second half, I think until the red card happens, even after the red card happens, I feel
Leon
like
was dominating that.
I think after the goal, that's when you could kind of like you can breathe like a sigh of fresh air, because before that third goal, I still felt like Leon had opportunities and they had too many with 10 people on the field. That was just my thoughts.
What was my score prediction?
You said 2-1.
And what did you say? You laughed.
Que estaba
Ya
loco.
dijiste.
I told you,
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I don't think
He
I
laughed.
laughed,
He
but I
laughed
was
and he goes,
like,
"We'll
you gotta
see."
be careful with Leon, though. You always gotta be careful with Leon. Look,
Hey,
I don't.
for the parents, fuck them. Because again,
Hey, you should have gave the
Racha,
kids an opportunity to close their ears.
Nah.
that's it. Sorry to the parents, pero pelan. You know
You
why?
gotta say, hey, you know what, kids? Close your
Hey,
ears right now.
this segment's gone because you always give them the credit because they're up here, and guess what? Again, los vacunamos.
Hey,
So,
let's give
I think you gotta
let's
give the
give some
credit
credit to the friend of the show, Sasha Aguti, who called it that Chivas was gonna beat Leon at home.
yeah.
yeah,
But you know what? Besides that, like Danny said, I think Leon, they hold possession and they're dangerous, but I think they're still missing that 9 that makes them that pushes them over the edge. Because many opportunities that they created, they were missing that un killer, after all
yeah.
that possession.
Well, they let
You
him
know what?
go.
You know
They let
what?
him go. That's the issue.
You know what
Didn't
made
it?
me happy? They want to pay 50 mil. You know what made me happy? You know what made me happy? That these dudes were taking shots from the outside, man. How many times have we been yelling that just take a risk? And Chapito, man, what vintage Chapito? Like I was telling Juby, that's the 22, 23-year-old Chapito that we knew before he went to the back line. Right or wrong, Rafa?
Yeah, golazo. I can't take it away from him. Like I
right?
said, I still have my thoughts on the rest of the game, but I'll credit, man. That was a nice shot, unexpected.
And then that sets the tone for everything. Notice that Vucetich was way more vocal than usual.
Mhm.
So that this is what you need, man. This is what the biggest team in Mexico does, especially playing. Did they play sloppy afterwards? Yeah, man. Like Danny said, they Leon dominated with 10 men. 10 men they dominated. And the third goal, with all honesty, in my eyes, I think it was a fluke because Alexi, I think he gave away the ball. He thinking that somebody was running in that area. Correct me if I'm wrong, Danny.
Yeah.
I think he crossed it back too deep. He was looking for somebody else.
Yeah. I
So
mean, obviously,
Mayorga pounces on him.
Mayorga comes out of nowhere and is able to get it in.
yeah, overall, and also JJ again coming in. Well, this is his third game with a goal.
Yeah.
Th-
Oh,
This
he
is
missed that one where he put it away from I think it was Mosquera, and
Mhm.
he should have finished it. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, but this is what we're asking from this kid at 19, 20 years old to score, and he's scoring again. Está
It
respondiendo.
it's
But
not
is it
just
too late?
it's not just the scoring things. I think if you look at him off the ball, he's winning aerial balls, setting up his teammates. You know, holding up the ball a little bit, kind of like what Oribe does.
Yeah.
He had a couple flicks, a couple layoffs that helped them grow into the game.
Yeah. Well,
Because like I
what
said,
I
go ahead, Juby.
I was just gonna say, like, what I've been liking about Macias is that his movement without the ball. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
that's what I've been loving. Like, yeah, the area and all that. Yeah, but if you watch him, like when they pass the ball towards him or wherever, he always loses his defenders. You know, his like he pretends he's gonna run one way, and then next thing you know, he cuts back, and like I think that's something that I guess you could say we don't see as much because either they're inexperienced or by the time they start playing, ya están a little bit on the older side. But this is some stuff that I don't know who's he learning from or where's he getting it from, but it's good to see a kid, you know,
What
move like that.
I think it's something he picked up against with Leon. I think what I said kind of falls, on par with what you're saying because everything like that's put together. Movement off the ball, getting to places before the center backs, just making them uncomfortable, making them chase you across the field,
hey,
and
Rafa,
that's what set up everybody else.
sorry, no, you were talking about the play when cuando la bajó, right? And then he cut
Hmm.
that. Yeah, that I think that he learned that all in Leon.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
but
I think he struggled to catch that form here because he was being asked to do a lot of things, and he couldn't do. If for a minute he couldn't do any of them. You know, he couldn't dribble, he couldn't control the ball. All last season it was like he did it like one game out of every four, and now
no,
he's done it back to back, 2 games in a row.
I'm not the biggest fan of Molina, but one thing I did respect was when him and what's his name, Chapito Montes,
Hmm.
Mhm.
or como, right?
Yeah.
When they're both going at it, man, and they both get yellows, man. He's defending that shit like we're asking them week in and week out, man. And big props to him. But I still think
Hey,
that the midfield
eh,
needs a little work.
yeah, ese codazo que le tira Chapito. I don't know if you guys saw that off that same play.
Hmm.
You know what? And then after that, I think Molina just play exactly after that. He steps on Montes, and that's something people were talking about that it could have been a possible other yellow. But I think it was good on the ref to leave him in. But yeah, it was close. He stepped on him and almost took his shoe off.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
but
and
but I mean, but the ref was letting them play, so
Mhm.
what you guys think about the defense?
Defense.
Better.
they
Uh, eh,
they they could. I think if we get technical, there's still a lot of stuff they could work on. But just having Pollo's energy and I feel like Chapito's goal kind of relates to this. Like for him to be able to go up that high comfortably is maybe because even though Pollo might have messed up a couple times, defense might have been a little sloppy here and there. Like he gives
Hmm.
you that confidence to be like, okay, if something happens, Pollo's here.
Yeah.
You know,
But
What?
dale,
If
Rafa.
you see the game, I think Boyo messed up a couple passes. Obviously, he scored the own goal, but anything else in the air, man, Boyo had it under lock. There was nothing that was in his area that was going through. He
Rafa.
was
yeah,
clearing everything.
And as a
no, and those passes is normal, especially because he's been sitting down 9 times out of 10. You know, so like
Mm.
give
That,
him.
dale. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, so like this is luckily, this was one of the games where I feel like he kind of got it out of the way. So yeah, moving forward, we're probably gonna see something better,
And then
from them.
some credit to Mayorga, man. He's not the best defensively. He got dribbled past a couple times, like Danny said. Joel Campbell, hell of a player. But Mayorga getting down that line and just providing that energy down the left hand side. It's in a. I mean, I like Miguel Ponce because like we said, he started off strong, but this kid at Mayorga, he injected some energy from the back, and it helped them in this game at least.
It helped him go into Pumas, but what do you do with Chicote?
Well, at the moment,
Play
not
him as
much,
striker.
because
I mean, obviously, was a teach likes playing him as a nine.
yeah, but I mean, Chicote right now he's dealing with what, COVID?
Yeah.
Otro, man. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah,
Hey man,
so
but seriously, he's got to go in there and compete. I don't know. They don't play him at left back, so he's got to try to win that left mid position.
which is
That's gonna
also
be,
gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
it's with Chapito, yeah, you guys are right. He was getting beat, and I think I said in the chat that I don't know how Joe Campbell didn't make it in Arsenal because he shows his qualities, but at the same time, who do we have in the right? We need Chapito to step in every week.
Yeah. I mean, we
Que no
play
tienes
John's favorite player in the sub-20 every week.
yeah. Que, a
Who?
Madueña no, que no, that's your star, no?
Oh, ese Madueña, mi corazón. The Cruz Azul let the gem go away for free.
I don't think so, man.
And you know how many? So it's an inside joke, right? Because Juvie really gets fucking worked up. One time in our Instagram chat, the Chiva Hermanos, I posted a picture and I go, look, Juvie, they just resigned him from Mill. Juvie doesn't answer his phone when he's on at work. This mug effort called me. You gotta be. Juvie was cussing like you were cussing. Pissed. So it's just an inside joke. And then I sent it to Rafa, and Rafa goes, I can't believe they did that.
I mean, now when you have a player like Van Rankin that's, more than decent, he's not like the best fullback, but he's a guy that's going to
The
come in
bench
and
is
compete
fine.
with. Huh?
Off the bench, he's good.
Yeah.
Overall, your thoughts on this game, Rafa, from start to finish?
I think the effort, and they brought some effort, they brought some huevos. They were competing, they were, doubling up. Montes, he was getting pissed off, man. He was not comfortable the whole game. I think that's what you got to do with a player like him. You got to rile him up and make him play better. Everything else, man, I can see the effort. I can see the double teams, even triple teams at time. But going forward, they can't get confident because they didn't play so
It's
well
one
with the
game.
ball. It was counters, and I mean, if that's the way you're gonna win games, then fuck it, get 3 points, get out. But can't get confident now. That's all I'll say. And everyone's saying, is this the 11 for the starting 11 for Stitch? I'm like,
I don't think
hell
so.
nah. It's got to keep changing. If you settle now, then you might as well give up now. There's no point of saying, oh, this is the 11. You got to keep changing until you find the correct formula all the way to the end. Because even then, you got to change it again once the season starts.
Would you bring Fernando for Torres?
It's tough to say, man, because the way that Vucetich is playing, you want somebody to be combative right there in the midfield. And I think Lalo's a lot more versatile, like defensively. Por eso le gusta. But I mean, I don't know, man. Beltran's gotta work on his game and turn it into something else.
I still like Beltran right there in the middle, man. I, I,
But you do get Juvie why they put Lalo, right?
yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But I just I feel like Nene just gives at least for me gives like what I like gives me a little more than. But and I love Lalo. Like that's the sucky part. But you wouldn't be able to move Molina. That's for sure. So you gotta pick your
Ah, man,
poison.
you can't because Molina, like we talk about it. He's not that good coming out. He's not no Rodri from City, but
It's
um,
a good comparison.
pero
Mhm.
I mean Rodri can play. And Molina sometimes with his passes, you're like, oh geez. But Molina in the air, Molina defensively, and Molina as a cap, you can't take that away from him. Porque le echa
As a
huevos.
cap, I can't. As a cap, I can't.
Mhm.
But
And he's come up with some
uh,
clutch goals
but
and set pieces.
last week I saw why they don't put Fernando, and that's the second part because he's one of my favorite players in Chivas. But
Why is that? Explain.
what one of my favorite players? Or
No, explain
No,
why
why?
you saw that he can't play.
now I'm not saying he can't play. It's just that he was making a lot of mistakes. He couldn't put the ball. Not saying that the whole team couldn't put a pass, but at some points I started agreeing with Danny. And right,
I think it came down to players not moving in front of him because Beltran is a guy that he tries to break the lines with his passes, like giving little
But
paredes to get forward. And he
mhm.
couldn't do that. He kept looking forward, and as soon as he saw he wasn't there, he pushed it off to the side. And
but
that's something he can't afford to do because he's playing in a position that they're asking him to move it forward.
and he,
but
he was touching the ball a lot.
let me just throw this out there, just to see what you guys think. The week before you play against your former coach, right?
Mhm.
You don't think that he told his current team, Tena, certain player tendencies, and this
Of
is
course.
why certain things happen the way they did?
Of course,
So
Yeah,
would it be unjust to judge a Nene based on how he played against Juarez?
Because the team still has to go in there and like do what they're supposed to do. And if Nene's a good player, he has to figure out, all right, maybe
But
they're gonna check my tendencies and change up his own tendencies.
but how do you do that when the person that kind of like laid a little bit of the blueprint for what we're seeing now was Tena, you know?
I mean,
that's what I mean, Juvie, when Beltran should expand his game. Like if he learned how to get a proper like long ball, like a direct one, not a lobbed one, I think that would help him
Mhm.
get out of sticky situations. Because he's very good, like short, and he's well balanced and he can get around players. But I think if he developed that, it would make him even better, and it would help him play more. Um,
Yeah.
but on top of that, like Bucetich, he needs his starting guys, and he needs to know that they're gonna get him what he needs because he's defense first and then play offense later.
so
So
you
with
don't
his
move.
two defensive
You don't move
mids,
Pollo.
nah, I mean, look, I defended Tiba once upon a time, but I
He
think
lost the
Tiba
spot.
has lost like a step. Like he had that anticipation on forwards before, and now he's slow like on the reaction. I don't know what it is, but he's not there right now. Like he came in and he played slow again. He was chasing players. Like he that's not his game. He's not fast. He needs to anticipate the players. That's what a good defender does.
but maybe Tiba's doing it because that's Vucetich's plan, that he wants him to guard more or whatever. But it might be the way that Vucetich is talking to him that's like making him think that that's what he's supposed to do.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna say no because each coach comes in and they provide you something different. And maybe he's stuck between doing what he used to do and what Vucetich is asking him to do. Is I think where you're going at.
Yeah,
And he's played a lot more fullback than he's ever played ever at the senior level. And I
hmm
think
Hmm.
they don't play him as much as center back because he's not the tallest center back and he's not that great in the air. Like he's been exposed in the past, just like Mir has. But I think Mier just has more consistency overall. I think that's why Mier is unmovable.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I don't know. Tiba's got to figure it out somehow. He got to improve. Either get back to the anticipation that he had, or get quicker in general because he's kind of slow.
I mean, hopefully
then,
this
then
is more of a chip on Chivas' shoulder, and they can play better next week. I know that I brought this up earlier in the chat where I said, Cruz Azul sucked. Like we deserved to lose against Pachuca, but the next game they were a breath of fresh air and they played a lot better. Uh, I guess this could be the game that takes that off and takes that pressure off certain players, like um just to finally get a W. And we'll see what happens from here. I mean, honestly, it's really up to the team at this point. Vucetic has tried to implement certain things that I might not agree with. The whole passing in the backfield, I don't think it's working out, but um, and I don't know how you felt about that. Like, I know that in the last game they were trying to implement it with the players that they have now. It seemed to be working a little bit better, but at the same time, this was a Leon that was at one point 10 men deep and was still able to get through. So it like I told Rafa, even with Cruz Azul winning 3 games, you're never gonna get that. I don't know. We could go back to that at any point, like we can play like shitty like we did last week at any point. And
Mm.
to Juby's point, I think that every coach can figure out your tendencies as a player. I think if you have good scouts on your team, they're gonna figure out what you do and try to stop it. It's up to the player, like how you said, Beltran does he looks forward and all that. But I think regardless of the situation, you got to figure out a way around it. And all right, they figured this one out. Now I got to do something else. Like because this isn't gonna work. So yeah, I think that's it's kind of just saying like that's an easy fix, but um yeah, I think overall this could be the chip off their shoulder for Chivas, and hopefully they can pick up after this.
for the kind words.
No, yeah, no, and it's also good just having that internal competition. You know, like hopefully it does Ponce and Tiva some good. To know that their positions are not safe for them, and hopefully they start kicking ass, and like just having that internal competition probably help out.
But Diva should always have that in the back of the mind because Boyle has always been a quality player.
Yeah, but then you gotta think about it. You're
Mike,
21.
I know, but sorry to interrupt. But my biggest thing is now Diva not playing well is going to jeopardize his opportunity with the national team.
Of course.
Yeah, but he's still young enough to where you have hopefully they, well, I don't think they're gonna happen, but Olympics, he's 21. There's still opportunities for him to improve. I know, like we keep saying, like, in other leagues you have youngsters already doing stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully this is like a learning curve for him, because
A wake up call.
sure, you want to call it that.
He'll get it, man. I have no doubt he'll come back. But you gotta look at the players that are playing well now. And
Yeah,
Mayorga is one of those dudes. Angulo también, he's playing well.
my
And
boy.
yeah, he's underrated. But yeah, man. And Boyo, man. He gives that energy. He has the aerial capability. And man, he's gonna go out there and bleed for the shirt.
Yeah,
It's
and
my
just the
man
passion.
crush. It's my man crush right there.
If you guys
Ah,
don't want them, we'll take them.
nah, not Chewy. I mean, Danny, stay off, please. We gave you Peña already. What else do you want?
That's
Who did
ya
you
Si
say?
quedamos
quieres, te
debiendo.
mandamos a. What do
Pineda.
you want? You want? Yeah, I think we still have Madrigal on our books. You want him?
Hey, take back my dueña, please.
Oh, please.
Bro, I looked
Danny,
up.
don't worry about it. My dueña's in my heart.
I looked up the fee and I was like, all right, that was a little bit too much, but you know, we
How
did it
much? How much was it?
4 million.
Get the nah, you're lying.
For
Look up,
Madueña,
look up
For
so
Madueña?
yeah, look up Sofa Score.
I heard it was like a
Nah.
million.
No, it was check. I swear.
Transfer market.
See,
I
that's
got
why. See, John, that's why it don't make any sense. Why do you pay so much for him, and then you have Van Ranking at home
And you
and side
you let
alone
him
him?
go.
Hey, for the same reason that you pay 5 million for Oribe.
Nah, that
Hey,
was a free transfer.
hey.
No, pero
Speaking,
Uh,
no,
te
but
pagan
the
bueno.
but his fee, and he's off the books at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, is it true? I want to ask Rafa. I've asked you, but you're biased. That Orbelin hasn't signed with Cruz Azul.
That's what I'm hearing. And you know what? I'm also hearing that Cota has a similar issue. That's why he's not playing.
Hmm.
Because they keep playing Poncho Blanco. And I was watching through the end, I didn't want to last night for the Chivas game, but they were talking about that. They're like, why isn't he playing? Like he's obviously the better keeper and he's like national team level. Why is this dude Blanco playing?
Mm-hmm.
And hey man, there's no excuse for not playing him. It's obviously a personal thing. It has to be, right? He has to be in a contract dispute for him not to play.
Pero todavía andan con esa cosa que los dejó meter gol.
Sí, wait. Pero eso pasó. I know that was a while ago. They can't be talking about it now.
You
I don't know,
know,
man.
these teams are good in hiding stuff. I'm not saying that
Here
that
comes the question though. Like I know you said that maybe he could be out of contract and they could be free agents, but do you guys really think they'll really actually be free agents? No, because there's been other players that have been free agents, but they've been like, to be honest, lower class players that don't really make a big difference. But these two
I
players that John just mentioned, and him and I, they're bigger quality players. They're national team players.
because
uh,
me and Danny, we have that love hate relationship like brothers. But we already spoke about this, and he made a very good point, and I usually don't say it. But he goes, "How's Cruz Azul gonna let somebody go that they paid how much?"
About 10 million.
I, I heard it more, but yeah. I
I
mean,
thought it was
anything more than
14,
that.
but
Yeah.
Might have been 12.
yeah, how is it
Eh,
that they're gonna?
Danny. Oh, sorry, but when Danny's talking about his players, they're
Oh yeah.
they come in cheap. But we're
Oh,
talking about other players, le saca el doble o el triple
hey,
que
I'll check.
costaron.
I'll check on.
this fool
I'll
told
check
me.
the
This
checking
fool told me
transfer
that he
market.
sold. Who did you sell? Who did you sell? Oh, Paul Fernandez on FIFA. He goes, yeah, man, I sold him for like 8-9 million. I go, fuck, 8-9 million. It's a lot of money. He shows me the screen. He goes, yeah, look. I go, Dick, that's 800,000.
Oh, I forget. I'm not gonna explain it. All right,
No,
man.
but
He was counting in pesos.
no. It was because he had another player traded in, and I go, no, Dick, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
um,
All right. So the rant. We'll talk about it after. I think for the time being, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. I know this one ran a little bit long, but follow us at PDC Podcast MX on Instagram as well as on iTunes, Spotify. John's working on the YouTube as we speak.
as we speak. But before we go, we are gonna have a giveaway next week for all the Chiva hermanos. This one didn't come out of the treasury. This one came out of my pocket, and I had to explain to my wife why. But from us Chiva hermanos to you guys, I'm giving away a large 2018-2019 jersey that has just arrived. I just got the text from my wife, so look out for that.
Hey, and you
And
know what?
I'll put,
Even if you're not a Chiva hermano, whoever wins it possibly knows a Chivas fan. There's so many of us out there. You could give it to your tío or whatever. Somebody out there.
yeah.
Yuvi, when's your birthday?
Mine
Yeah.
next month.
Nah,
Okay.
but
I
este
need
güey
to,
dice que es
bro.
un medium.
Oh.
Le queda grande, va a ser cholo, no importa.
Mm.
All right, man. With that being said, thanks for listening, guys. Follow us on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find your podcast. It's not even iTunes, right? It's like Apple
Apple
Music.
Music.
Fucking
No,
that shit.
Apple Podcast.
Apple Pod. There you go.
Same
Google
difference.
or whatever. But yeah, man. Thanks for listening, man. Peace.
Right?
Stay
Later.
safe, guys.
All right. So what the fuck?
Ay, güey.